Hey, good Friday morning, guys. Thanks for logging on to bamwx.com. Just wanted to give you a heads up. We have a free trial of all of our services here starting on the 7th. It's free. You just have to sign up at bamwx.com/trial. You'll get everything you see here. So feel free to stop the video, go through what you can see. So there'll be a lot of information being sent out here right to your email. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Otherwise, the link is right there, and feel free to sign up for that. So, getting right to it here, taking a look at the radar, we have a cold front moving through portions of the eastern Ohio Valley, coming into portions of Pennsylvania here this afternoon. A couple drenching storms across the Hudson Valley and New York City as well. And as we move through the day today, taking a look at the SPC Day 1 outlook, slight risk for eastern portions of Ohio, most of PA and New York, and tapering off as you head off to the east. And then as you get into the day tomorrow, that marginal threat shifts eastward into New England as the front moves off to the east. Now, taking a look at the energy in the atmosphere, we call this vorticity. You can get an idea here by 7 p.m. There's a nice line of vorticity here moving through along that front, and that will likely spark some strong storms, like I said, across eastern Ohio, western PA. And as we get into the overnight, that energy does move east, but likely loses its punch, so to speak, because we lose that daytime heating and the front's kind of weakening as it moves to the east. But certainly some showers and storms on the table here for Saturday across New England. And taking a look at our high-resolution NAM projected radar, you can get an idea here of the timing. Here we go by 3 p.m., strong storms in western portions of Pennsylvania, New York, and eastern Ohio. And you can see as we get towards about 6 p.m., a couple storms ahead of it in New England, and then the main line back across western Pennsylvania. And as it moves eastward, it likely does weaken this evening as it kind of, again, loses that daytime heating. Here we go by 1 a.m., a line of weakening storms in central PA, western New York. And as we move into the day on Saturday, that front takes its sweet time moving eastward with additional strong storms possible across interior portions of New England as we get into Saturday. Behind that front, Saturday afternoon, looks like a nice day across western portions of the Northeast, eastern Ohio Valley as well. And then as we get into Sunday, high pressure takes control. Looks like a very nice day across a lot of New England. Total precipitation here over the next 60 hours. 1/2 to 1.5 inches of rain, depending on if you get into a storm across the interior Northeast and New England. Much less across the mid-Atlantic into extreme southern portions of New England where those storms likely aren't nearly as strong. So beyond that, as we get into next week, we're going to be dealing with this upper trough hanging around. That'll keep humidity down. It'll keep temperatures from getting too hot. Temperatures likely 3 to as much as 5 degrees below normal during the beginning part of next week. And as we get into the beginning of next weekend, we're going to notice this Bermuda high is kind of right in here. And it's going to try to pump in a little bit of some warmer air across the East Coast with the main trough back across the upper Midwest and plains. And that's going to be important as we look to the tropics, okay? And that's the next big story here as we look into week 2, because there is going to be a disturbance moving in from the east. And depending on where it goes, that's very important. It's called 99L right now. And this is a look at the Saharan dust. This is where the storm's located somewhere in here right now. And notice there's a ton of dust around it. And with that dust, the storm's not looking too hot this morning, okay? And as we move through the next few days, this dust is going to play a role in its initial development. We're getting, these strong easterlies coming right off of Africa, and that pushes all that dust from the desert right into the Atlantic. So that's going to be something we're going to have to watch here over the next few days. But I wanted to give you an idea of the general pattern of this storm, okay? And we notice a couple things. Depending on how fast it forms, there is an area of high pressure here just east of Bermuda, and that will flow like this around it, okay? And there's also an upper trough across the middle of the United States. So how these two features interact will play a big role in wherever this system tries to go. Does it head east if that high is stronger, or does it head northeast because that high is weaker and the trough is stronger? So there's a lot of different factors here that we're trying to figure out, but certainly there is the potential for some tropical activity. Taking a look at the latest European guidance, we notice the European ensemble has between a 90 and 100% chance of a tropical depression forming here, tropical depression forming between day 2 and day 5. So that's kind of the idea going forward, but right now we do think something forms, but the strength and the exact track are still to be determined, but certainly something that if you have interest in the Gulf of Mexico or along the East Coast, it's something that we should definitely keep an eye on. So thanks for logging on. Again, we have that free trial coming up next week. Otherwise, that's all I have for today. Have a wonderful Friday and a wonderful weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.